Welcome back to Catching It with Katie. We're kind of in one of those times of the year where not a whole lot of craziness is happening, but a lot of stuff is about to happen. So like we're on the cusp of calving season. We did just wean, which I wouldn't say is crazy. I would say it was actually pretty anticlimactic. Climactic. We had a whole thing about climactic. Anyway, so that happened, but our cattle sale's a few weeks away. Congress is a few weeks away. We get to go to New York for a couple of days on a work trip. There's lots of stuff that's like about to happen.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of one of those times where like the day we're just making videos and we're just doing normal farm stuff. I did post a little prompt on Facebook asking what are some topics that y'all would like to hear about, due to the fact that sometimes I feel that the Catching It with Katie platform is probably one of the best spaces to explain things, just because it's longer form. It's gives us a little bit of time to like actually have a conversation about stuff. So one person did say, your best friend heard she was cool. You should talk about her. That's from Becca Miller. She is the commenter,
said that.
And she is also the best friend.
Number one listener.
I don't think we have
fan.
to talk about her, honestly. She's had her own episodes before.
Yeah.
She's being a little greedy. But anyway, so the one thing that people keep bringing up is my garden.
Or the lack thereof.
What do they say about it?
They want to see it.
Oh,
That's embarrassing.
well, let's go show them.
No.
What's wrong with the garden?
Have you not looked
There's not
as you're
one.
pulling in?
No.
It's rough.
It's
It's
crispy.
a graveyard.
It is.
It's a graveyard with a few like little lives trying to make it.
And
And
Lindsay still waters them every day. It's just
well,
not.
I was like, I mean, you're welcome to try. I've given up.
Oh, gotcha.
And like there's a few dahlias that are just like, and I feel so bad because I got these beautiful dahlias from Elena, who, you know, we met through donkey
Yeah.
stuff. And so she has her own page and she has like the most beautiful flowers. She has all these beautiful, colorful eggs, like just like this most whimsical farmer lady. And I was like, I want to be that.
yeah.
And so she brought me these dahlias, and then I very much failed her. I do think next year, so how my garden is now, it was successful for like a year. The annual one, because it had like the tubs. They're like the galvanized tubs.
Yeah.
I feel like the last 2 summers have been uncharacteristically just so hot, and I think the tubs just like cooked everything. And then they also, like when we get a downpour of water, because we had such a wet part of the year, I think they just drowned. Like I think it was just a terrible situation.
So would you think it's
I'm gonna put them in the ground next year.
You think it's the tubs?
I think it's neglect and the tubs. Like I think the
neglect.
tubs allow for a lot less
Wiggle room?
wiggle room. I think the ground might
like-
save me a little bit better.
Say 10, 20% tubs.
No, for sure neglect was a lot of it.
yeah. Yeah.
Neglect was a lot of it. I think you're going to be the whimsical farmer lady that does like I have a feeling I want to be the whimsical farmer lady. I feel like you actually have it in you. I think I have the want, just not the goods.
You have a green thumb?
Maybe. I don't know.
Time
I've
will
never
tell.
really tried.
I feel like you'd be the type that's like, here's some eggs to go home with. Like, I don't know.
yeah,
you know?
I would.
Yeah.
You know?
I'd love to do that.
I'd love to take them.
We're very close.
Bet you would.
So this is one of those situations
Maybe
where we've been trying to get this house ready for Abigail. Was supposed to be in by June. It is September. She'll be in soon. So we just took over the Kidding Castle. So the Kidding Castle is no more. Okay.
Sorry. Have a sip of your water, Abigail.
Yeah.
Resume.
We did. So the Kidding Castle is no more. That left. So the Kidding Castle, if you don't know, for kidding season, like we have like it was a shed that was on the property when we bought it. And then I was like, we should put goats in it. Like that's just
Where did it go?
what happened. It went down the road. And now for today's sponsor, which is Earth Breeze. Ever noticed how many unnecessary chemicals are in our cleaning products? Well, I did. And I figured out that my laundry detergent was the worst offender. And that's also when I found Earth Breeze. Their detergent sheets are free from harsh chemicals like optical brighteners, dyes, parabens, phosphates, and preservatives. No heavy plastic jugs, no mess, no harsh chemical residue. It's just a lightweight, pre-measured sheet that dissolves in water and gets the job done. And your clothes still come out clean, fresh, and soft. Some of these chemicals, like optical brighteners, stick to your clothes like glue. And the crazy part is these chemicals don't even clean your clothes. They just trick your eyes into thinking that your clothes are whiter and brighter than they actually are. You can actually see them under a black light, and it's pretty gross. If you want a powerful clean without the harsh chemicals, try Earth Breeze. And it's great that while they do have their amazing smelling sheets, they also have a fragrance-free option, which is safe for sensitive skin. If you're interested in an eco-friendly alternative to your laundry detergent, check out Earth Breeze. Thank you for sponsoring this video. The link will be in my description. And back to the video.
Is at your house?
So that's where Sprout and Bean are going to live.
Ding ding.
Wow. It's already there.
It went there yesterday.
Wow.
So we are kidding castle-less until Friday.
When the new one gets here.
What's Friday?
When the new one gets here.
The new,
Yep.
the Kidding Kingdom
I'm learning
comes
a lot.
here.
Yeah.
It's custom made.
Oh.
It's got like a loft inside of it. It's a lot taller ceilings.
Wow.
It's bigger so that we could actually film inside of it instead of like from the outside. It's like, it's just going to be so good.
That's exciting.
We're going to do like a little porch off the side of it. It's got double doors off of the side and off the front. It's got windows. It's got dormers.
Does it have a balcony?
No balcony. It's not 2-story.
No basement.
And we did it's white with black trim and blue doors.
Ooh, that'll be nice.
And we're gonna do like a little patio off of the side and do like a little awning so that they have like a little spot that's not inside for more shade and to get out of the weather. And a lot of people ask me, they're like, if you're getting this new big kidding castle and now you have like Honey and Bee, they're gonna be old enough for you to have like 5 baby goats or 5 moms having baby goats next year. I'm like, no. No. I learned this year 3's my max.
3 max.
3's my max. I feel like once you get past, like I'm not trying to be just like a goat hoarder / overproducer. Like that's not like
Telling the line. 3's max.
3's max, Matt. So I like even now with like the 6 babies, it was like, you know, we're trying to give them all attention and like make them loving and like, you know, whatever. And Briar's feral. Even with 3, it was hard to give them all enough like attention for what we're doing, you know. So yeah, I think this next season, like usually we bring a buck in like in for June babies, like January. I think I'm going to bring the buck in like November, December for Honey and Bee only and just have 2. Okay. Maybe Blossom, since Blossom has only had 1 kidding season. But Bella and Buttercup will be at a later date. I mean, Buttercup, if she keeps having 1 more baby every time, we're going to have Quince next time.
Quince.
I mean, anyway. So that's happening Friday. New goat house.
New goat house.
Very excited. Very excited.
That's exciting. For real.
But yeah, the garden's sad. I'm so sorry.
I had a good garden.
That was on me, honestly.
I sent pictures to Abigail.
Yeah, how did your garden, is it still going well?
How did your garden
wrapped up.
grow?
About wrapped up, got like 5 or 6 pumpkins.
Wow.
You had pumpkins.
Pumpkins, tomatoes, basil.
Grapes.
Tomatoes,
Sweet potatoes are
What about
about
the
done.
grapes?
beans,
done.
greens.
No grapes?
No grapes. Groundhog. I've trapped like 4 groundhogs. And I'm working on the 5th one. It's the boss.
Did you see the
It's
groundhog
the boss level.
yesterday? No, you weren't there. It was me and Lindsay. Austin was too late, but he is this big around in the pasture. What is that face?
It's just funny to me. I like groundhogs. I
Okay.
think they're funny. Just the way that, like...
The way
just,
they
like,
sit.
The way
silly.
they sit is just...
Sure.
They
It's
dig
very
garden.
From a
entertaining to me.
livestock perspective, they dig lots of holes, and then your animal's
fine.
running, and they break their leg.
I'm not talking about from that perspective.
So one of the things a lot of people asked was, going into this calving season, since we were like on the cusp, what is like the name theme? It's an N year. Do we know anybody that their name starts with an N? I'm just saying.
He's gonna say it.
We'd had a Matthew in the M year. Rebecca named her calf that she bought from us Matthew. Did you know that?
A cow named Matthew.
A cow named
No,
Matthew.
it was a calf. It was a baby.
A calf named Matthew.
Because last year was
It's
an
a
M
cow.
year. So then this year we could have a Natalie. We could have a Nathaniel, a Nate,
Natasha.
a Natasha.
Natasha's
A cow
Ooh.
named Nate.
Natasha's a hot name.
Yeah.
That's a good book, I
So
think.
we have multiple, opportunities here.
Yeah.
So basically, honestly, all livestock that's like goats, sheep, cows, any breed, most of them in the registries have like a letter year. You don't have to go off the letter year, but it makes it easier when you are like doing ear tags. And so we'll have, so C34Z, we were just talking about her earlier. Her name's Cookie. You know, she's from the C year. And so you can like know her age if anyway, it just makes it easier. And so this year is an N year.
Cookie's 11? Mm-hmm. Wow.
But okay, so there's a couple of letters they skip.
Oh.
They skip I, V, Q, O.
Why? Do they think people aren't creative?
No, it just like gets confusing with numbers and letters.
Okay.
So anyway, so I think she's 10.
Okay.
But yeah, so she looks perfect. She's like one of our really, really good older cows. We bred her, so we've had her entire life. So that's cool to see. Like we were just looking at the mom and baby pasture today and thinking about like some of these mamas are having their first baby. Some of them are literally having their like 8th baby. Like this will be Cookie's 8th baby.
What's your oldest cow?
Cookie's probably up there.
Really?
Yeah, she's probably up there because, we're now to a point where we're starting to keep a lot of our heifers and not wanting to sell as much because cattle prices right now are so high that it's really hard to replace. It's hard to get recips. It's
Really?
hard to like we're doing a lot more embryo work, and it's honestly worth us keeping our, like, let's say we have an older cow and her numbers just aren't what we are looking for these days. It's easier to keep her heifer and raise it to put embryos in versus selling it and then buying another one. Like, and so
Right.
we're kind of keeping things. But there for a while, the way our business model worked, like we had to sell to like make money. We weren't pulling embryos. We weren't selling semen. We weren't any of that.
Right.
So used to be, it was like, if a cow came to like her prime, you sold her then because that was, you were going to, lose out if you didn't. And so, we have a few that are in that 8 to 10-year-old range. One of them being Leona. Leona is my first cow. I think she's 8 this year. I think Bluebell's 7, but yeah, we're getting to where we're keeping a lot more now and just kind of holding out with them instead of like rotating
Right.
in and out as much. But yeah, lots of name. Like I think Kiki, if she has a baby girl, it has to be Nikki.
Nikki.
Kiki and Nikki.
I really like Nelson.
Nelson's good.
We got
Yeah,
is good.
yeah.
Nelson. I don't know. What are some other good N? We're gonna need some N names in the comments. 100%.
For sure.
Because I bet we have our first calf within the next week. But here's the thing: like Lulu's having a baby. I don't know if it's a heifer or a bull calf. We always with Gigi and her progeny, we try to do like that theme. Like Gigi has Lulu and Kiki and Mimi and whatever. I don't know how to keep like Nene, Nunu, no, like
You could have a Nene.
Nana.
Nene, Nana.
Nana.
We could do knick-knack. I don't know. I feel like that sticks with like the. So on Facebook where I did the prompt, someone named Nene asked. So Nene's that's on there.
On the table.
Nene asked, "What's something I'm proud of Matt, Nate, Abigail, and Lindsay?"
What? Okay.
Okay, I feel like
Listen up.
Sorry, had to burp. I don't know. I wish I could say there was just like a lot of things to choose between.
It's hard to find one.
What are you whispering?
I said, just can't do it.
Can't think of one.
Can't think of something I'm proud of myself for either.
Oh.
Aww.
No, I think I'm
see
proud
somebody
of
for
the what's the word? Integration? Is it like I'm proud of the fact that none of y'all had any experience with anything that you're working with these days. None of y'all had any.
True.
I mean,
Except Matt.
Matt had so
Except
much
Matt.
experience.
Except Matt with his
horses.
years
He does have
and
a past.
years and years of experience.
None of y'all had any
Deep
experience in this world, and the fact that y'all are so willing and like eager to learn, but like you've so quickly just like integrated yourselves into this thing that like I know it's for work and I know it's like a part of your job to do it, but it's not an easy thing to just like pick up and I'm not even talking about writing. I'm talking about like the world that is the horse world, the horse industry and the horse breeding and whatever. And y'all are just like little sponges. And y'all have, other than the names, honestly, which
Well, you started this whole thing with except Matt anyway, so I'm still out off the table right now. So carry on.
No. You're in it. I'm just like proud that
Really reaching here. Just proud. Just words can't express.
anyway, whatever. They're really good at their jobs. They're awesome. Whatever.
Thank
We'll
you.
end it with that.
Oh, thank you.
Compliments are awkward.
You are.
Only if they're made awkward.
I'm getting warm.
Yeah, Matt.
Let's go around in a
Stop
circle and
ruining
say what we're
things.
proud of each other about. I just had to do it. So
Well,
now it's y'all's turn to do it for each other.
Yeah, but you didn't do like each person individually.
It didn't say individually.
I know, but I'm just saying you kind of took like
A broad.
an easier way around the question. So are we allowed to lump everyone into the same, or do we have to go individually?
I'm proud of how far everybody's come this year compared to last year.
I'm proud of the work that everyone puts in.
Proud of how much y'all know compared to 3 years ago.
Was that bad of me to say?
I'm kidding. No, it wasn't. I know we know what you meant. People will know what you meant. It's just funny.
I don't know. It's just like that's not an easy thing to do at all.
It's not.
Like
not.
to just absolutely go into something you have zero clue about and then to like excel within that world within your field.
Takes a special
it's
kind of
hard.
person.
It's hard.
Real
And
special.
I think it's awesome that y'all have achieved that. And that you
Thank you.
continue to
Thanks.
get achieve that and get more knowledge and like I don't know. Like I don't know if any of y'all are going to pursue horses outside of this particular job,
I
but
I don't know.
it's on the
I wouldn't
resume
be
now.
surprised if Nate did.
It's on the resume
I wouldn't
now.
be surprised if I did. I like horses now.
I would be surprised if Matt did.
He already.
What if I
already
became
did it.
like an absolute just household name, dude? Household name. Like people aren't
What
even
would you want to
watching.
be a household name in within
know.
horses?
I don't know, dude. Something that would really tee everybody off.
Dressage.
Like somebody would be like,
Dang.
he don't even know, and he did it.
I don't know. I feel like
Tacky Turpin.
like rodeo.
You're talking about Tacky Turpin.
I'm too tall. I'm too tall to do anything rodeo.
Ah.
I used to want to be a bull rider.
I think that would really get to people if they saw you out there excelling as a bull rider.
I wouldn't excel as a bull
His
rider.
back is too metal now.
Yeah, you one fall and you're done.
He never falls. It's like crazy lore.
I could hear that, dude. I could hear that announcement. What this is his 10th rounder. One fall and he's done.
So we did a lesson with Abigail a couple weeks ago, and honestly, it's been really, really positive feedback on that type of a video.
Yeah.
And we need to do another one. And if it weren't for the fact that Matt has to go rescue his child after this because she was crying when he left her with the babysitter.
I
so
can't
he has
imagine, to be
he has to go
honest.
rescue her after this. But when
Challengey.
I think we need to do Matt next.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
ready?
I want to
Yep,
do it too.
I'll have my boots.
Who's
in the
your
car.
horse of choice?
Ethel.
Ethel's your horse of choice?
Yep.
You could choose between Ethel, Ricky.
He doesn't know who that is.
Honestly, that's about it. I'm not letting go on Kennedy.
Ricky's the tan one,
He doesn't know who Ricky is.
or is it the Palomino one?
Ricky's really
not know
new.
who
Ricky's the
Ricky is.
newest one.
I thought the
No,
newest one was
no,
the Palomino
no,
one.
no.
Who's newer?
You're right.
Lexi's new.
Lexi's the newest one. Lexi's the Palomino.
I don't even know if I
Ricky
really.
is
I
just
haven't
brown.
met
She's
Lexi,
a bae.
I don't think.
Mm.
I
Does he
haven't
know what
met
bae
Lexi.
is?
Brown.
Yeah, brown.
Black hair.
Yeah,
Black
we
feet.
She
had
looks
that
like a
conversation.
small. She looks like Maggie.
He does
Small
not know who Maggie
Trudy.
is.
Small Trudy.
I can get
Big-
behind that.
Okay.
True.
Okay.
Get behind that. I still say Ethel. She just seems like
She's a good girl.
Yeah. I feel like y'all would be a good pair.
so
The
that
only
whenever
thing
it does
is-
surface that I've never been on a horse before. Whenever that finally that area is cleared, that I'll still be on somebody comfortable.
Yeah.
The only thing is that she's becoming stronger, and now
She's harnessing her strength. She's getting stronger.
okay.
But she has been getting stronger.
She's getting stronger
too.
every day.
I know. I'll train.
It was always really convenient that she's so fat and out of shape that you could just count on her not wanting to move.
She's
Yeah.
been training.
So she's safe. Well, now she's like, we've been working her, and so now she's getting stronger, and now she's getting like some pep in her step.
Yeah.
And so it's unfortunate, honestly. And it's good that she's stronger, but it's like it makes it a little more difficult because now she
Makes things more interesting.
Now she's
does.
trying to go.
it does. So okay, Ethel's a good choice
Can't wait to
though.
open up that video with audio.
What?
Like those cartoon drawings.
They watch anime. But anyway, so we'll do that soon because a lot of people really, really like that video. I think it was a good look into not just riding, but you know, all of the steps of it, of getting the horse out of the pasture to putting it back in the pasture, all the things in between. And I think that's something that doesn't necessarily get shown, kind of gate kept for people that haven't, you know, ridden ever. So another thing, and this was like multiple people asked this, is why I don't do P.O. box unboxings anymore. And I've talked about this on Snapchat a little bit, but I've never made like a big post about like I'm not doing them anymore because we still have the P.O. box open. It's open. It's still there. We're just not doing the unboxings anymore. I keep burping. Can we take that?
We can try.
So I don't want to ever come across that I'm like, I don't want this stuff coming to my P.O. box because that's not the case at all. The reason the whole thing started was when Rooster passed away a couple years ago. Some people were like, hey, can I send you some artwork? And I didn't want to give out my address. So I was like, I'll open up a P.O. box. How about that? So we did that. And that's what it started off as. And then people really liked the unboxings and it would turn into people would send funny stuff, homemade crafts and things like that. And it was really, really cool. Well, and I don't want to say it wasn't still cool in a lot of ways, but there was a lot of people that were using it to send like their small business items or, you know, things that they wanted to sell. And that in itself really wasn't the bad thing. It was the people that would get very angry if I chose not to share their item. Some people would send like inappropriate things. Some people would send stuff that really made me uncomfortable, like creepy. I'm not going to get into details. And they were also like calling and berating my post office. And like if they didn't see their item in the unboxing, they would blame it on the post office and they'd call and like berate and cuss out and all this stuff. It just turned into like, it was no longer just a simple, innocent, cool thing for everyone anymore. And so we still have it open, but we just decided because it seemed like the showing on the video was what was causing all the negativity. Without showing the video, pretty much all the negativity, there would be no more reason for it. So that's why we stopped it. are like showing it at least. But it's still there. We still open it. We just and we actually have have some thank you cards and stuff that we'll send out sometimes. But it's that's the reason, unfortunately. So
No. I will say this because this was meant to be a joke. We did get sent like a confetti bomb one time that was disguised as something
Very vulgar.
inappropriate.
Very vulgar.
Oh,
Yeah.
that wasn't me.
I was okay.
I just want to set the record straight. I didn't send that.
Sounds like something you would do.
But yeah, like I just really, it was meant, and this is the same thing for like 7. Like some people have sent some really, really sweet things. It just turned kind of, I wouldn't say turned dark. It turned more into, I sent you this and you didn't show it on there. And so I've been slighted.
It turned into more just like wanting to be shown on the video or wanting their like product or something to be shown on the video.
Right.
So,
and like I absolutely loved shouting out small businesses when I could. It turned it, like I said, it was coming back on my post office. It was coming back on, because I don't, I have help looking through email. I have help, corresponding. And so that it just turned into a lot. But anyway, that's the reason. That's why we don't do the unboxings anymore. I miss it sometimes because that was fun seeing a lot of stuff, but yeah, we still see it.
You still see it, but
we still see it.
doing it.
Yeah.
not in the amounts that.
No.
it
The
used
amounts
to be.
have definitely
Yeah.
gone down considerably.
My pie was in the refrigerator this morning.
My pie.
But it wasn't there this afternoon when I opened the door and saw an empty space.
I guess one thing we can chat about a little bit, and I can't give too many details.
Heavy on the little bit.
Here's something we could go in. Here's something we could go into heavy on here.
No. I'm gonna tell because I do have some plans, but this is for the. I guess I'm gonna tell you this plan, but there's 2 other phases past this plan that
okay.
I'm not sharing.
I got
So
you.
this is phase 1, but I'm not gonna share the other phases yet.
Are we
Okay.
privy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So a lot of people have been commenting like, oh my gosh, you literally need another barn. It's happening.
Well,
Another barn is coming. Have I talked about this yet? I don't think I have.
No, I don't know. No,
I talk about it all the time here. I don't think I've talked about it
Yeah.
on camera. There's another barn happening. So there's a pad on the property that is kind of like behind the arena, like the covered arena that we have. And it was originally like there is not a single flat space on our property. It is all rock. It is all hills. So we created this flat space 15 years ago, I would say, to put in an outdoor arena. Well, I honestly don't remember what squashed the outdoor arena. Like, I don't know if it was, I really don't know why it didn't happen. But it got flat and then it grassed over. And then all of a sudden we were using it as just like a trailer parking area. It started collecting things that just need to get thrown away, things like that. It's where the manure pile is. Like it's just gotten taken over. So this flat space is now we're reworking a lot of things behind the barn to where we're putting it's 125 feet by 50 feet barn. So it's not going to be as wide as our barn, like our original barn. It's going to be basically just 2 lines of stalls on either side. It'll have a wash bay, a tack room, and it'll have big bay doors in the middle going outside, and then one of them's going into an outdoor arena.
Nice.
So this is going to be where like the open recips stay, where the yearlings go, where the weanlings go, so you can like actually separate the weanlings and the moms, like they're not in the same, space anymore. Also, like if I have some mares that aren't pregnant that I'm riding and things like that, they might stay there. But it's going to be, I believe, 18 to 20 stalls. And I guess the big barn, we're still going to have the collapsible middles in some of the foaling stalls, but it's basically going to be more of like the foaling barn.
Yeah.
And like the mom and foal barn. there's still like some single stalls that are out in the like arena portion. But anyway, so this is just going to give us the opportunity to expand a bit. There's going to be some pasture space that comes off of that. We're gonna have to build off of the side. I've convinced my dad to give me some cow pasture space for that. So we're adding a few new paddocks, and then honestly, my overall plan, and this is going to be hard. I don't know what I've talked about yet, but I've already kind of put some feelers out. I'd like to find somebody that, probably a trainer that is wanting to like slow down and not travel as much. I'd like to find somebody that wants to start 2 to 4 2-year-olds, do the groundwork for the yearlings, be in correspondence with my other trainers to be like, hey, this one's one that we need to send on to training. Hey, this one we need to hold back for a year and maybe send it off the next year. This one, I don't think is going to fit our needs. Let's try to find a buyer for it, things like that. And then to keep the like 2 to 4 mares that I'm riding legged up and like worked and things like that. And just kind of have like an in-house small operation, because I would really, really like to keep a lot of my youngsters at home longer to be able to just watch as they grow. Because sometimes like as a 2 and 3-year-old, they go through growth spurts, they go through changes, and I want to be the one making the decisions on their behalf, not somebody else. And I don't want to necessarily put all my trust in someone else to make the same decision I would. Whether I'm like, oh, we need to take them out of training, or, oh, hey, we need to change maybe we need to do some corrective shoeing while they're growing, or we need to change their diet, or whatever. I just want a little bit of longer control on these animals that I'm raising before they go off to their jobs. So that's kind of like the long term, or like that's not even long term. That's kind of like the plan for the next few years.
Nice.
So anyway, that's a little... That's happening.
A little extra tidbit.
That's happening. So anyway, I guess that's kind of it for now. Like I said, it's kind of the lull of the year. It's where we're not really staying up waiting on babies. We're not really traveling that much. We've got about a month until then, till we're traveling a lot. Calving season is coming up, so that's going to be super exciting. But until then, this is just kind of like one of the very few monotonous times a year. So we probably should enjoy it.
Yeah.
But anyway, hope y'all enjoyed. Let us know other topics that you would like for us to talk about in future episodes. Let us know what other types of videos you'd like to see. Again, give us those N names for calves. They're coming up. Check out the new merch.
Look at the goats.
So
It looks like your yard.
It looks like my yard. That is my yard.
Nice. It's accurate.
Oh, okay.
It's good then.
Thank you. So goat merch, Halloween merch, all kinds of stuff is at katievanslyke.net. And we'll see you in the next one.